News with Gina.
The news with Gina Grad.
Well, we've been hinting at it and we've been bitching about it for good reason. Forbes reports that airline passengers had a horrible Halloween at LAX after the glitch-filled...
Who could ever predict this?
I love this. The glitch-filled debut of the new shuttle bus to rideshare lot system. They're calling it LA Exit.
I did a little experiment with this because Lynch flew in last week.
Yeah.
And so
he said it went smoothly, but it was also on like a Thursday.
Well, he did there was a couple things, and he's a dutiful guy, and he followed up. So when I was sending him, actually last night, I was sort of putting him on into the Uber and sending him on his way. I said, does the Uber take you to the lot, or does it take you to the terminal, or how does it work? And he said, I don't know, but he said, I'll report. So he reported.
Still at the terminal, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So he reported back that the drop-off was at the terminal. He reported that he did have to go to the lot. There was, on the way in, there was confusion, but there wasn't the long lines. And look, it's going to vary. Depends.
Right.
Like the movie theater, the supermarket, there's going to be times where there's no line, and then there's going to be times where there's a clusterfuck. He said, like cabs, one line, Uber, one line, Lyft, one line. You had to get a number. Like people didn't download the app or have the number. Also, the Uber drivers couldn't rate you anymore, couldn't pick just on your rating.
Oh.
So they had to just take who was next versus I'll pass.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
As Mike was saying it, I think we're talking about this. Yes. So what it was is they couldn't go, this guy's got a bad rating, I'm not going to take him.
Right.
It's like, this guy's
Can't
number 31.
Yeah.
He's next. He's coming into my Uber.
Well, they even said, I heard him talking about this on the radio, this big disastrous night on Halloween. It was such an awful mess that Uber drivers were turning off their app and just leaving. So it looked like the person had gotten picked up because there was no way to tell, but they were just like, what are we doing? This isn't working. I think we have video just to show you the lines.
Can I say this?
Yeah.
Maybe the boss hog talking, but hey, Uber drivers with your ratings and your discerning attitudes, you're adults who make a living driving people around in your own car. Drop it. Whatever your standards are, they're not that high.
Beggars can't be choosers.
You take strange drunk people and put them in the back of your Camry and tote them to Encino.
Adjust your
That's what you do for a living.
What's it going to happen when it rains in a month?
Oh, that's a great question.
This is a nightmare.
It's a rainy winter we have here. So Los Angeles International is the world's fourth largest airport by number of passengers. Also ranks second from the bottom.
Fourth.
Yeah, 87.5 million last year. It also ranks second from the bottom in the J.D. Power North American Airport Survey for its compelling combination of congestion and construction. They're trying to get...
I find it more intriguing.
They're trying to get rideshare and cabs out of the quote-unquote horseshoe at LAX. They want them somewhere else. But is it McCarran where we just go upstairs and there's a whole other...
Taxi line.
Yeah, there's just a separate
So wait, you can't
area.
get the taxi anymore in the terminal?
Nope.
That is correct.
Oh,
so
I
now
thought you could still do that. That's what... No?
They shuttle you for all basically ride share. Yeah, to a remote location.
But you can get it. You can order an Uber Black. Have it pick you up at the curb.
I have heard that from multiple people. If you get the expensive
one,
got
the money,
they'll come to the curbside.
Now, that being said, they also were talking about how a lot of people are now going to start walking to the airport hotels, just rolling their suitcases down there, because that's kind of a little bit of a loophole. And the surge pricing from being picked up at the airport was like $95. And if you walk to the closest, like Marriott, it's $20.
Wait, how does the black work? Why do they
you can choose it.
If there's no Uber, there's no Uber. Why do they let...
It feels arbitrary. My guess is that they have to let like town cars and like people picking up,
dignitaries,
CEOs and dignitaries and stuff come to the curb, so they might as well let the
put them on the tram.
I think it's something to do with if you have money. There's a different set of rules.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. It's
Everyone goes on the tram.
Yeah. So
look, as long as it benefits white people, I don't care.
I saw a tweet that said you should just jump in the first hotel shuttle you see.
Right.
And then,
that's exactly what. Yeah, that's what they were saying. Go get your Uber at the hotel.
Stop traveling.
Well,
or stop traveling.
Think about LA and LAX and everything we do in LA. We wait for things to get to its worst possible scenario, and then we go, okay, we got to.
We have a knee-jerk reaction.
Nobody can use water in the tub anymore. You must clean yourself with sand, because we're in a situation now. We don't have aqueducts. We don't have water. We never got the system worked out where we're going to do the thing where the rainwater was collected and then it was clean and it was. So we're DEFCON 5 all the time because we didn't plan anything and we didn't do anything, and then someone goes, oh, well, don't blame them. They're just trying to fix this problem they should have fucking fixed every 5 years for the last 100 years.
Yep, shouldn't have been a problem.
I said the solution is always the dumbest, most reactionary solution. This is the dumbest, most reactionary solution.
But even if
Let's get them all somewhere else.
Even if it works, it's only because you guys were fucking up for the last 50 years. That's why we have this problem.
This is like a people landfill. Like there's too much to just move it off site.
Soylent Green.
Exactly. Well, let's talk about a hero for a moment, because she deserves some acknowledgement. An 11-year-old girl in Zimbabwe did something most people would never do. She did it last week. She rescued her friend from the grips of a crocodile.
Wow.
So according to the Sunday Times, Rebecca Munkambwe went running to a nearby stream when she heard the screams of a 9-year-old girl and saw a crocodile pulling her underwater. So Rebecca jumped in the water, got on top of the crocodile, gouged its eyes out, and that caused the crocodile to loosen the grip on the other girl. Rebecca says, once she was free, I swam with her to the banks where the other children pulled her out of the water.
And then I ate her.
The crocodile, fortunately, did not attack us after it let her alone. The young girl escaped with just minor injuries. She spoke to a reporter at the hospital. She was bitten on her hand and thigh, but they are fine.
You know, I've often critiqued the black female community for the giant press-on nails.
Come on.
But I'll admit I was wrong in this situation.
In the eye gouging
that
department.
probably saved the life of a young girl. Those giant acrylic nails.
Sure, that curl at the end.
Yeah, and they're
sharp. They're called stiletto nails.
Got the airbrush and put like a unicorn or something on there.
They're often bedazzled.
That
the good
saved
ones.
a life.
Saved a life today.
So I do owe the community an apology.
Thank you.
It is interesting when you see these stories. Though you hear about shark attacks, and it's like, oh, the girl got attacked, and the uncle started to swim towards them. I'm like, who are these people?
Yeah.
I don't care. I'd be like, I'll be back. I'll help you.
I'll get help.
I couldn't imagine any snenario that I love someone enough where I would swim towards a great white shark. I'd be like,
12-year-old girl.
I'll go get the lifeguard.
You first off, you haven't been. You're not a father.
No.
Okay, so I am, and I can tell you, if something happened to one of my kids, I would order the nanny into the fucking lake immediately.
Yeah.
Immediately. So you don't know, Dan, because you don't know the
love.
The love of a
You
child.
don't know what it's
the
like.
bond.
I would be, hey, bitch, in the lake, go. You're on the clock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the Boss Hog talking.
Might be the Boss Hog.
Fucking love you guys.
Yeah, man, you guys
love
are
you
awesome,
too.
man. The best.
So a little auction news. This doesn't happen very often. The gown that Lady Gaga wore to the Golden Globes went on auction. Bidding reached nearly $20,000. And the dress was abruptly pulled out of the auction. The Nate D. Sanders auction house withdrew the one-of-a-kind dress just minutes before the closing bell. Apparently, Valentino refused to authenticate this dress, which some allege was stolen by a Beverly Hills Hilton housekeeper. The housekeeper said she discovered the dress in Gaga's suite after she checked out from the Golden Globes. It was just sitting there. The periwinkle blue gown and the 10-foot train supposedly just sat unclaimed and lost and found for 9 months. So the maid eventually took it home and tried to make a small fortune at the auction, and they said absolutely not.
Well, it is. They just wouldn't authenticate it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But
But 9 months, she did her due diligence. It sat in a lost and found box in the office. This beautiful dress.
When I found that I found $50 in the Cherry Hill Mall on the ground when
More
I was
than you'd
like
ever seen.
6, and I was like, "Oh man, this is a lifetime of living for Corollas with $50." And we turned it into the lost and found. Like I remember saying to my mom, "You can turn a wallet in, you can turn a
cash.
loose bill into lost and found." And she's like, "Yes, that's what you do." And we turned
That's how
it
she
in.
got rich.
I know, we turned it in, and somebody claimed the $50, but it also took a while for the person to do it too, or maybe it's just my 6-year-old brain like going insane, like $50. This will be it was the longest 2 weeks ever.
But that wasn't the end of the insult.
What happened is a woman claimed the $50. She then came to our house and gave me like a $5 reward, and my mom made me split it with my sister. fucking ne'er-do-well sister had to get $250. I was like, what'd she do? She didn't do what? What are we rewarding this for?
At least your mom's
Where's the
consistent.
crocodile when you need it?
Yeah, that's
right.
right. That's right.
She's consistent with her Communist Manifesto.
That's right.
Split it among everybody.
That's right.
Well, the grass is about to become greener at Kim and Kanye's Hidden Hills home, where the couple just dropped $3 million to expand their property. So the sprawling complex now boasts 8 acres after buying an adjacent property that recently hit the market. They just waited on it until the neighbor finally sold. They made him an offer. The vision for this new land includes guest homes, a spa retreat, and a farm. If the plan for an organic garden and citrus grove works out, the family will be able to eat farm-to-table dining without ever leaving the backyard.
I'll tell you, that's the move. That's the move. Jimmy did it. Seth MacFarlane did it. Like you hang out, you like your house, but you kind of financially outgrow your house. But you're like, but I like it here, and I don't want to move. So you start buying houses near you, next to you, above you, and around you, and then you just go, fine, I don't have to move. I'll just move out.
I have a compound.
Mm-hmm.
And also just build farms and stuff so you don't have to. You ever think about doing that? Something like that? Have your own. You could live off your own land?
No, I was, I like it. Like I went somewhere in Burbank today, and a guy, like, tomatoes grow so well here. Like there's never an excuse not to have a dwarf lemon tree in your yard. Like, if you're a landowner out here, have a lemon tree. Get an avocado tree. Grow some Roma tomatoes. Like, they just flourish. They just work out here. And I was walking through Burbank today, and right in the middle of the sidewalk and stuff, and a guy had, like, a tomato plant going against, like, a coffee house or something. And I was like, smart. Yeah, everyone should do it. It's one of the many things that we don't really encourage or talk about. You know, we talk like a lot about, third-hand smoke or click it or ticket, or like talk to your children, read to your children. How about taking your kids out in the yard and growing something? It's so doable in this climate.
Yeah. And, I didn't even know this was a thing. And I know it in a lot of really urban areas they do it. But apparently the 4-year-old we have at home, his school has a plot in the community garden. Mm-hmm. And it's really cool that you get to go in there and tend to your little lettuce and tend to all your stuff and help. It doesn't have to be on your property if you don't have any property. These community gardens are pretty cool.
Could you butcher an animal though? Could you go there?
I'll let you know next week.
Really?
I'll give it a try, see what happens.
Well, I'm saying, like, could you? I wonder about that. Like, I watch Survivor, and they always give them the chickens.
Oh, yeah.
And they get so excited. They're like, "Oh, the chickens!" And I don't think I could do it.
Oh, you mean psychologically?
Like, cut
could you
the
do
chicken's
it?
head
But you
off.
got to have sex with something. Come on, Dan. They're on an island. You can't have sex with a teammate. That's weird.
God, Dan.
That's true.
You don't want to cross the line.
I'm sure you want.
Teammate. Remember when there was like the urban garden, and it was like in South Central, and like Daryl
Strawberry?
Hammond?
what's her name? Yeah, no, Daryl Hannah chained herself to the tree, crawled up, and one of the tree was
that
doing
that same
interviews
incident?
from up in the trees. Do
She
you remember
called
that?
our radio show.
Yeah, from the
tree.
From the tree. Yeah.
Wow.
What was she protesting?
She didn't want him to take out the garden or something, so she chained herself or climbed up to the tree and was living in the tree. I don't know what that was, Max Pat. It was a South Central farm, yeah.
Yeah, it's a walnut tree, in which she and another tree sitter had been protesting the eviction and was arrested.
I'd make a horrible tree sitter. I'd just be like, I'd go up the tree with a lot of convictions, but I would slump down like 7 minutes later, like, I need a beer.
This hurts.
It's hot. Let's go. By the way, trees, maybe they'll use it to make like a baseball bat or a good casket or
Whiskey
something.
barrels.
Yeah, whiskey barrels.
Is she still up there? Because I haven't seen her in a movie in 20
She may
years.
still be in the
maybe
tree.
She's still in the tree.
All right, Gina.
Well, speaking of celebrities that put it on the line and get arrested, Oscar-nominated actor James Cromwell was arrested last week at Texas A&M University for protesting the school's use of dogs for medical research. The 79-year-old actor, who has appeared in more than 50 movies, you know who he is, LA Confidential, Green Mile, Babe, has become a vocal activist on several issues and has been arrested several times in the past. Thursday's protest was organized by PETA. Cromwell was charged with disorderly conduct and later released on bail. He said in a statement, Texas A&M continues to torment golden retrievers and other dogs, even though decades of these experiments have not led to a cure for humans with muscular dystrophy. Apparently that's what they're working on. He was arrested also 2 years ago at SeaWorld. So he walks the walk.
Well, first off, what are the dogs doing at SeaWorld?
Yeah.
This doesn't make any sense at all. You throw them in a tank.
Feed the whales.
There's a point
Yeah.
there.
And also, is it torment? Because I feel like this should be stronger than torment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Torture.
Yeah. What are they doing to the dogs? I don't know. I don't like vivisection. But I will say, hey, if it works and we can get some cures out of it, I'm down with it. It's just if it doesn't work. But the problem is they don't know if it's going to work.
Right.
So they have to try.
Well, my grandfather was in his field, a very famous pathologist. And my mom would go to work with him when she was a little girl. And there would be monkeys and rats and dogs and everything in cages because that's how they were figuring out, how to cure all of these illnesses.
For lunch.
Exactly. But also, who, because I follow her on Instagram and it's every post, who is hardcore and really puts her money where her mouth is in terms of saving animals?
DanDunn.
And also Whitney Cummings. That's like her thing. And she is very serious about it. It's very committed to that cause.
My thing is people first, animals second. You should love animals and you should love people. But I think at some point when it's too much of an emphasis on animals and a little less on people, I get a little suspicious about that.
I understand, but some of the stuff, like especially for the cosmetic company, it's so frivolous. It's like it's 2019. Mm-hmm. There has to be a better way to figure out if this lipstick's going to kill somebody.
Yeah, I agree.
So hopefully they'll figure that out. Well, an enterprising Minnesota college student who drove every weekend to Iowa to buy hundreds of Krispy Kreme donuts, then resell them to customers in the Twin Cities. He has been asked to stop doing that by Krispy Kreme. There have been no Krispy Kreme stores in Minnesota for 11 years. So 21-year-old Jason Gonzalez would make the almost 300-mile trip to Iowa, pack up the car with 100 boxes, then drive up back north to deliver them to customers in Minneapolis, St. Paul. He'd charge $17 to $20 a box, for a dozen. He said some customers spent nearly $100 at a time. Gonzalez said he did not receive a discount from the store. He just bought them and resold them. But less than a week after the St. Paul Pioneer Press reported on his money-making scheme, Gonzalez received a phone call from Krispy Kreme in Nebraska.
By the way,
stop him.
Who's the reporter? I'm going to blow the lid off this Krispy Kreme box.
This
is my Chinatown.
This is a fluff piece. He doesn't do anything wrong.
Call me Deep Throat. I don't want you to use my real name. I'm going deep cover. I'm deep cover. I'm going to be like Serpico.
Yeah, exactly.
Kids in here running donuts.
Yeah.
Call me Glazed Throat.
Yeah, it's a slippery glazed slope. This is where it starts. Starts with donuts, ends up at fentanyl. You understand? I'm going deep cover. I'm going to go into this world, and I'm going to put a stop to this. People have to know we're the pioneer.
Yeah,
that means the beginning, and we're going to blow the lid off this box of donuts. I'll tell you that right now.
He's paying a retail price for them. What's the problem?
That's exactly. And listen how cool this kid is. When asked how he felt about this order from Krispy Kreme to stop doing this, he said, life happens. It could be a sign that something else is meant to be.
Hold on. You're my copy editor. Okay. No, you're the editor of the paper.
Right.
And I'm in my office. And you're pitching me other stories. There's like a white slavery.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
There's white slavery you want me to work on. There's drugs. There's fentanyl. There's fentanyl being sold to school kids.
Greg.
Yeah.
What is with this Krispy Kreme story? This stupid.
I'm working on it. I'm knee deep into it.
This fluff piece is ridiculous.
I don't want to get into it.
We got genocide in Austria. I don't know what's doing in Austria, but we got child endangerment in Darfur. Yeah. There's so many things we're running to change the world in this fluff piece.
Yeah. Okay. First off, this is a serious donut-related piece, all right?
I don't doubt that in the world of donut crimes, this is way towards the top. That said...
This kid's running glazed circles to out of state, you understand? And your elder abuse. Remember that chicken shit story you were talking to me about the retirement home, Shady Acres, where they're abusing the elderly?
We were a Pulitzer finalist for that story.
Yeah. Does that have to do with donuts?
No, it does not. I think that's why.
This has to do with donuts.
I think your priorities are really misplaced.
Well, I'm going deep cover. I'm going to dress as a pecan log.
Okay.
All right. I'm going in deep.
I like what I'm hearing.
All right. Now, don't try to dunk me in your coffee because it's a styrofoam outfit. I'm going deep cover on this one. All right. So, I've got a few insiders at Krispy Kreme.
Don't let me catch you around a windshield, or I'll know what you're up to.
My Yum Yum Donut connection.
I knew it.
He introduced me to a couple of insiders at Krispy Kreme. So I greased that guy's palm good. That money came out of the coffers of the paper, obviously. I'm not using my own cash.
No, you shouldn't be able to pocket on this.
I got an insider. All right, I'm calling him Deep Mug.
You're going to blow the lid right off this box?
That's right. Okay. That's my move. I got a lot of intel coming in. As a matter of fact, there's some calls I have to take. We're wasting valuable time.
I'm sorry for intruding.
And now, after this...
Yes?
I'm going to investigate donut holes. I don't think they're actually the hole that was taken out of the donut. I'm pretty sure. My insider tells me the donut was made in a circle and there was no hole. That those are mistitled.
If
you understand?
If what you're saying is true, God help us all.
Yes, sorry.
So, yeah, he'll find something else to do.
Why do we need that story from them?
I don't know, but I mean, they're snitches.
Again, he's
and I
paying
don't
a retail
appreciate it.
for 'em.
Exactly. Yahoo News, this is crazy. Yahoo News reports that a British tourist was stunned when she learned she had breast cancer after a photo opportunity at a museum picked it up on this gimmick machine that she went into. So basically, Bal Gill is her name. She's a 41-year-old mother in England.
Wow.
She visited the Camera Obscura and World of Illusions in Scotland during a family vacation and later wrote to the museum to show how one of its attractions saved her life. You're looking at the thermal picture right now. She said that her family stopped into the thermal imaging camera room to see how, quote, hot or cold they are. And the attraction revealed a surprising hot spot right on her chest. Once home from the vacation, she discovers that thermal imaging is a tool used by breast cancer specialists. And since catching the cancer, she's now had 2 surgeries, 1 more to go, to prevent it from spreading. And she only found it after they gave her the picture, basically at the gift shop.
You know what's amazing about this? I went through the scanner at LAX. And they detected that I had some Bal Gill. Bal Gill.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, that shit.
I went on Big Thunder.
You have to pee all the time when you have Bal Gill. It's terrible.
We went through Big Thunder Mountain in Disneyland, and I discovered my son was a puss by the picture.
Oh, is he terrified?
They provided for us.
You don't even have seatbelts on that ride.
Yeah, so
it's the wildest ride in the wilderness.
So this is a pretty important tool for discovering things. Yeah, my son was daughter. Remember, was having a good time.
Yes.
I was having a good time, and son was like,
it's like the
Covering his
sunglasses and they live.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I'm bringing this up. I wish I wasn't. But Gary told me before the show there's this new phenomenon on YouTube where everyone likes to get a thermal picture of their farts, and that's like a really funny thing everyone's
that is
doing.
good.
Now.
That's pretty good stuff.
There you go.
Wait, how do you do that?
By the way,
It's like a video.
Ask Gary.
Max Spada. I'll tell you the other thing I discovered from this picture, this thermal picture. Not only the breast cancer, but that her son was Chaka from Land of the Lost. That's much more disturbing.
You're right.
Than the breast cancer. Discovering your son was actually Chaka.
You're right.
From Land of the Lost.
This could also be the whiskey, but how many fingers does that kid have?
Chaka had.
I count 5.
Okay,
5.
It looks more.
It looks
you know
like
why?
he's
Because you're
6.
used to cartoons where they do 4.
Right. I think
That's
you're right
what
about
happened.
that.
Find me a picture of Chaka from Land of the Lost. There
he
you
is.
go.
Oh.
There he is.
Chaka.
Long lost.
All right. We're going to bring it home?
Yeah, why not? I'm Gina Grad, and that's the news.
That was the news with Gina Grad.